Okay, this is take 2. I already did all this. I had to unravel it and start over again. I'm mad at my camera right now because it stopped communicating with my computer. So, camera, behave, okay? Don't mess up. Be nice. So frustrating. God, all that work. I had to undo it, and it was not easy either. I had to unravel it. And these are teeny tiny stitches to unravel, so when I finished unraveling I had to pick them all back up again with this teeny tiny needle. See how little it is? Man, I am so glad that's over. So wish me luck that this does not mess up this time. Alright, we are going to shape the heel. Just in case you didn't know already, we're making the ankle socks using Bernat socks yarn. The free pattern is on the Bernat website, www.bernat.com. Do a search for ankle socks and you will find this pattern. And so far we have finished the ribbing and the ankle and the heel flap. That's what this is called. That goes around the back of the heel. And this is the end step up here on 2 needles right now, just to hold those stitches. So for the past while we've done that heel flap going back and forth on the same needle. And now we are ready to shape the heel. And to shape the heel is a very exciting part. And this is one of the hardest parts of making a sock, and this is one of the parts that a lot of people give up on and they say, I can't make socks, and they throw it away. Don't do that. Hang in there. It's worth it. So what we're doing now is the first row of shaping the heel. And the first row says purl 10, and in parentheses it says 12, 16, 18. That's the different sizes. This is extra small 10, small will be 12, medium is 16, and large is 18. I'm making size medium, so I'm going to purl 16. Then it says purl 2 together, then purl 1 and turn. Now when it tells you to turn, you're going to have stitches left on the needle. So just trust the pattern. Just do what it says. Turn and start on the other side. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to purl 16, then we're going to purl 2 together and purl 1 and turn. Because I'm making size medium. Now you, on the other hand, might be doing extra small. So right now you would only purl 10. But I'm doing medium. So I'm going to purl 16. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm slow today. 5. I'm slow every day, really. But I get it done. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that was purl 16. Now purl 2 together. So purl 2 together just means that you purl through 2 stitches instead of just 1. Can you see that? So I'm not just purling through 1 stitch. I'm purling through 2. Purl 2 together. And then purl 1. And now this is where it says turn. So you're like, wait a minute, I got stitches left over. What's up with that? Just trust it. Just do it. So turn. Now we're on the right side. And we're going to work the second row. And the second row says knit 3, slip 1, knit 1, pass slip stitch over, knit 1 and turn. So let's do that. And here you got to make sure your yarn is back. So make sure it's back. Don't leave it forward. Knit 3. 1, 2, 3. Then we slip one, knit one, and then pass the slip stitch over. Slip, knit, pass, slip stitch over. So you slip knitwise. Slip, knit one, and then pass the slip stitch over. Just like that. Then we knit one, and once again we turn. So now we have stitches left over again. Don't worry about it, just do what the pattern says. So now we're back on the purl side again, and we are ready to work the third row. And the third row says purl 4, purl 2 together, purl 1, and turn. Oh, that's all the yarn I unraveled from earlier. Purl 4, so make sure your yarn's forward now. Purl 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Purl 2 together, and notice that there's a gap here now. That's important to notice right now. We're purling 2 together at the spot where there's a gap. So you purl those 2 together, you purl 1, and you turn. So this time the yarn needs to be back in the back, and now we're ready to work the fourth row. It says knit 5, slip 1, knit 1, pass slip stitch over, knit 1, and turn. So here we go. We're going to knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now notice once again we've got a gap. Remember, that's important. Here's where we're going to slip, knit, pass, slip, stitch over. Pass the slip stitch over, and then we knit 1 stitch. And then we turn. Now at this point, this is the part where you have to be smart. This is the part where you have to be smart. This happens a lot with Bernat patterns, and that's okay. They're trying to make us smart, and we are going to be smart whether we like it or not. This says continue in same manner. Man, if I could talk. I am English, or I'm American, so I know how to speak. Continue in the same manner until you have, I need 17 stitches. If you're doing extra small, you'd continue until you have 11 stitches. Small will be 13, medium 17, large is 19. I need to continue in the same manner until I have 17 stitches. So the same manner means that we're going to keep doing the same kind of decreases that we've been doing so far. Now you notice on row 2 we did knit 3, slip 1, knit 1, pass slip stitch over. On the third row we did purl 4, purl 2 together, purl 1, turn. On the fourth row we did knit 5, slip 1, knit 1, pass. So you see it went up by 1 number each row. So for row 5 we need to purl 6, and I have already made my little list of how we're going to be working our next rows. Row 5 is going to be purl 6, purl 2 together, purl 1, turn. Row 6 is going to be knit 7, slip, knit, pass, slip, stitch over, knit 1, turn. Then the next row will be purl 8, purl 2 together, purl 1, turn. Then knit 9, slip, knit, pass, slip, stitch over, knit 1, turn. Then purl 10, and then do the decrease and do an extra purl and turn. Knit 11, do the decrease and knit 1 and turn. Purl 12, see how it goes up by a number each time? So it's always going to be knitting 1 more stitch or purling 1 more stitch at the first part, but the last part of the row will still be the same. So now I am ready for row 5, and here's where I need to purl 6. Put down that extra needle. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you notice after you purl that 6 that there's that spot where there's a gap again. So that means I know I got it right, because the gap is the spot where you have to do the decrease, the purl 2 together. So I'm going to purl 2 together at the gap, and I'm going to purl 1 more stitch, and then I turn it. And now the next row, knitting. So this one I'm going to be knitting one more, but I really don't have to count anymore because what I want to do is to knit until I get to the gap, well, one stitch before the gap. So I'm just going to knit across here until I get to the spot where I see that gap. And when I see the gap, one stitch before the gap, I'm going to do my decrease. So that's what they mean by continuing the same manner. See, here's my gap. So I'm going to slip, knit, pass the slip stitch over, and knit an extra stitch. Now I turn it around, keep the yarn in the front for the purl side. I'm going to purl across until I get to one stitch before the gap. So there is method to this madness. Yes, there is. So don't lose heart. Just trust the pattern. I've made over 24 pairs of socks, so I've learned through experience, so you can trust me. Here's the gap. Here's where we purl two together, and then we purl another stitch. Time to turn it again. We're going to knit. Woohoo! Time to knit. Isn't this exciting? Knit, knit, knit. Till we get to one stitch before the gap, right? So see, we're not having to count at all right now. We're feeling it as we go. Because we are such skilled knitters. We are astounding. Look out, world. Here we come. Here's the gap. Slip, knit, pass the slip stitch over, knit one more. Don't forget that, knit one more. That's important. Time to purl again. What we're doing is we're adding one more stitch that's not being left over when we turn each time. And our goal is to get to the point where we've got all the stitches on the needle. And we're not going to have any left over to turn. It's going to be all done. There's our gap. So we're going to purl two together. And then we purl one. See how we don't have as many stitches left? It's very fun. I think it's fun to make socks. And look, we're starting to shape the heel. That's so exciting to me. I remember the first time I did that, I thought I was superstar, which I was. I mean, gah. When I laughed, I shook the whole room. Man, I need to lose weight. Alright. I need to learn how to laugh with less movement so I don't shake the whole house. Alright, here's the gap. We're going to slip. We're going to knit. We're going to pass the slip stitch over. And we're going to knit one. See? Isn't that awesome? It keeps getting less and less. We're making a heel. We're making a heel. We're making a heel. Camera, you better still be cooperating. That's all I have to say. Because I was really mad at you for not making my video work last time. It's a lot of work to shape a heel and to get it recorded on a video at the same time. Do, 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 do. I found such a pretty song on the internet. Well, it's not a song. It's a piece of music. That's what my professor in college taught me. It's not a song unless you sing it. And if there are no words, it's not a song. It's just a piece of music. So anyway, I found this really good piece of music on the internet, which I've always liked the tune. It's called Sicilienne by Bernat Forum. I know I didn't pronounce that right, but I'm pretending like I did. Anyway, I love that piece. And I found a video on YouTube of this guy, this flautist, who was playing the flute, of course, because that's what a flautist does. And there was a pretty good amount of string instruments and a harp. I think that's all it was, a harp and some string instruments, and him playing this piece. He was the soloist, and it was amazing. What was his name? Gosh, I can't remember. Dagnabbit. He was a really good performer. And the video was from the late 80s, and you could tell because of his hairstyle, but that's alright. It was still very, very, very good. It's such a pretty tune, and now I cannot get it out of my head. I mean, I even took a nap this afternoon and I heard that song going in my head. It's been haunting me. It's like Isn't it pretty? Isn't that pretty? Oh my gosh, I can't stop singing it. So I'm going to try to play it on the piano at church this Sunday. I'll do my best. Okay, here we are, purling two together and purling one. Look, look, we don't have any stitches left on that row. Isn't that awesome? But there's still one more we have to do. Trust me. See, there's still a little gap over here. That's how I know. So, our last row is going to be a knitted row. Man, I love that piece. It's beautiful. Fares, one of my favorite composers. We're almost done with the heel shaping. I'm sad. I don't want it to end. Okay, here's our gap. So we slip, we knit, we pass the slip stitch over, and then we knit one. So there it is. There's our beautiful heel. Now it really is starting to look like a sock, isn't it? Because you've got the ribbing up here, you've got the ankle there, you've got the heel flap, and look, that's where your heel is going to fit. Right there. Isn't that cool? We're making a sock! Yay! It's really starting to look like a sock now. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video. And I hope that some of you are on the Bernat Forum making this sock with us, because I'm enjoying getting to know everybody. And I hope that you can tolerate me. So, see you in the Bernat Forum or on the Bernat website.